Hi, my name is Katrina Medoff, and I am the co-founder of Women's Weekend Film Challenge, an organization that works toward gender equity in the film and television industry. A lot of the filmmakers that we work with are writers who are submitting to a ton of writing competitions and fellowships. And so we created a writing contest submission tracker tool so that you can keep all of the information about the contest that you've submitted to in one place and have a really great way to view stats on all of your projects. So I'm going to walk you through all of the steps of using this, from what to do when you receive your digital download certificate to how to make sense of all of the statistics and use this tool to the best of its ability. So when you download your certificate, it's going to look like this. You do need a Google account to be able to use this since it's on Google Sheets. So once you're signed into your Google account, you can just click here where it says click here, and you're going to come up with this page that it prompts you to make a copy. So just click make a copy, and it's going to come right up to an introductory page that will have all of the information that you need to use this spreadsheet. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this to a different name. Katrina M. Writing Contest Submission Tracker. And once you have looked at the introductions, head on over to the Submissions tab. So this is where you're going to input all of your data. So in this first place, you're going to write the name of the contest that you're submitting to. We like you highlighting the text and going over here, adding a hyperlink to the contest website, so you have a really easy way to refer back to that. You'll put the title of the project. So you'll put your screenplay title here, for example. You'll drop down to choose the type of project. So I chose feature screenplay for this, but there are a ton of things from a pilot script to a short story or an essay that you can choose from here. You also put the version of the draft you submitted. We know that a lot of writers like to keep track of which version of which project they submitted to which competition. So here I put version 4 for this. The date that you submitted this, the submission platform, whether it is Film Freeway or Coverfly, another submission platform, or the contest's own website. We know that there are a lot of competitions that have different costs associated with different deadlines. So we would just put whatever amount that you paid here, the notification date, so you can keep track of when you're going to hear back, and the results. So before you find out about it, you would keep it as undecided. And then as soon as you hear back, you can choose from whether you were not accepted, whether you got some recognition like quarterfinalist, semifinalist, fellow, award winner, honorable mention, or what have you. And all of those are associated with a different color code, and it's just going to automatically come up with that color coding. And then a place for the feedback. This doesn't really have enough room to put pages and pages of feedback and still be able to look at all of your data here nicely, but it is a great place to put something really brief to summarize what you did hear back from the contest, whether that's something like the characters need to be more vivid, or this should be a lot more concise here, or the descriptions need some work. On the stats tab, which we'll look at a little bit later when I have a lot more data in the submissions tab, this will give you all of the auto-generated statistics from the data that you submitted. And then on the example tab, it's going to show you what your filled out spreadsheet might look like. And so you can use that as a guide if you're ever unsure what to put where. So I'm going to go on to this one, which I've already filled out. So this has 17 different submissions already inputted from 5 different projects. And if you are a fan and follower of Women's Weekend Film Challenge, you'll notice that these names are the names of some of our Women's Weekend Film Challenge short films, but I use them as if they were pilot scripts or screenplays or pitches and what have you. So you're able to sort based on the type of project. If you go into this sorting tool, you can uncheck everything other than, for example, pilot scripts, which I'm going to do here, and hit OK. And then you're only going to see the pilot scripts that you submitted. And if you want to put that back, you would just go back to select all and OK, and you're back to seeing everything again. If you want to sort it A to Z by the title of the project that you submitted so that those are grouped together, you can have it here. And if you want to put it back to going in chronological order from the submission date, you can go here, sort A to Z, and it's going to come right back in chronological order. All of this information is going straight to the statistics page. So you really want to make sure that you don't do anything to edit this page. And in fact, if you try to make an edit, it's going to come up with a pop-up that says, this shouldn't be changed accidentally. So you hit cancel and you get out of that, and you make sure to keep the formulas in place. But if you do accidentally hit OK, say you figured, oh, I submitted this to something that I didn't put in the spreadsheet, so I'm going to change the 7 to an 8, and you hit OK, that's going to mean that this is not going to auto-populate again for you. So we would recommend just hitting undo, and the formulas will come right back. But if you did somehow mess it up and you lost the formulas and it's just not working for you, we would recommend going back to your download certificate, making a whole new copy of it, and then copying and paste everything from your submission tab into that new version so that all of the formulas will work again. But let's assume that you looked at this note and that you don't change anything on the formulas. Here's how it's going to all work. You have your projects here that are automatically going to populate from the initial spreadsheet. You don't need to add the titles in yourself. It's going to add up the number of submissions that you have per project, the number of times that that project has gotten any sort of recognition. So anything from honorable mention or quarterfinalist all the way up to fellow or award winner, that's all counted as a recognition. You see for this project, 3 of the 7 were recognized and 2 were not accepted. So it calculates a project success rate from that. And what it leaves out of that calculation is anything that's still undecided. So you can see for Zborn and for Superhero Betty, they each have 2 undecideds. And so that's not going to calculate into the success rate. And then over here, it auto-populates every single time that you add a project with another submission date in. That year is going to come into here, and it'll automatically calculate how much you spent on writing submissions that year. Over here, it calculates the grand total of how much you have spent on all of your writing submissions, regardless of the year. So I'll show you what happens when you add in another submission. So you go over here, and we're going to say there's an example contest that we submitted Hannah's Little Secret to, and that is a pitch/proposal. So we'll put that and say we submitted version 8 before, but say I've edited it since then, and this is version 9. And so I want to write that down. And I submitted this January 1st, 2023. And I did that on Coverfly, and say it was $70. And I'm going to hear back about it on March 1st, 2023. So far, it's undecided. And then if I go over to the statistics tab, you'll see that Hannah's Little Secret has another project now. It's undecided. Now it's went from 1 submission for this project to 2, and it's still 100% success rate because the one time that it was decided, it had some sort of recognition. Automatically, the year 2023 is going to pop up here with the $70, and that's going to add into the grand total of how much I spent. And there you have it. If you have any questions, you can just refer back to this introduction tab, or of course, this video. We really hope that this tool is useful for you. If you have any enhancement ideas or any ideas for feedback, there is a link to reach out to us in the introduction tab. If you want to learn more about Women's Weekend Film Challenge, you can find us on our website, womensweekendfilmchallenge.com. We have a lot of programming, from our signature film challenge to our pilot accelerator for emerging TV writers to our virtual events series. And you can find all of the highlights from our virtual workshops on our YouTube channel. And you can also find us on social media, Instagram at Women's Weekend Film Challenge and Twitter at WW Film Challenge. We really hope that you enjoy this, and we hope to see you soon.